Some folks may think civilization is on the rise, but religious freedom certainly isn't. In the world right now, some 250 million Christians face persecution. That means 1 out of 12 face some sort of danger where they live just because of their faith.
Every year, the anti-persecution group Open Doors puts out the World Watch List, subtitling it this year, the 50 countries where it's most dangerous to follow Jesus. Open Doors president blasted #1 on the list North Korea and its dictator Kim Jong-un.
Imagine in your mind a leader who thinks he is God, but acts like an animal, devouring his own people.
David Curry blames Islamic extremists for some of the world's worst abuses, especially against women.
We found 2,260 women who were forced into marriage, who were raped, who had sexual assault by Muslim extremists.
An international advocate for religious freedom said it's important to remember the persecuted, like an American pastor held in a Turkish prison.
I met with Pastor Andrew Brunson in Turkey earlier this year, and his biggest fear is to be forgotten.
A top congressional fighter for religious freedom said the U.S. does big business with many of these persecuting nations.
A lot of these are countries that we have billion-dollar agreements with. And certainly I think it's important to know that when we are sending taxpayer dollars to some of these countries that we know what is going on.
Curry started this news conference by dedicating it to a 47-year-old nun who faced death threats for working in Jesus' name with the poorest people in India.
2 Hindu extremists came to her medical clinic, attacked her, raped her, drugged her, and left her unconscious, tied to a bed.
He asked American Christians to pray for people like this persecuted nun every Sunday and push for justice.
That seems so obvious, but until the voice and the heart of the American church is heard on this subject, I don't think much will be done.
They say one thing Congress could do is halt the months-long holdup of Kansas Governor Sam Brownback's appointment as ambassador-at-large for international freedom.
The people who suffer are people around the world who do not have a voice and cannot have a voice because people who should be their voice are not there for them.
We need a point person. This is not a partisan issue. Democrat or Republican, independent, you need to care about the religious liberty of others.
Persecution of Christians is on the rise. We cannot turn a blind eye to this evil, and the United States must continue to hold our friends and our enemies accountable.
For those who think nothing can be done about this, well, our government can certainly do more financially, and believers can do something prayerfully for their brethren persecuted around the world. Paul Strand, CBN News, Washington.